All right, thanks for sticking with us here on ABC24 and 24 Plus. I'm Kevin McNamara. We're going to go over some of these races again. As we can see, the Democratic Senate primary, we've got 43% of the vote in. And Pepper, I got to say, it's looking like a good night for Marquita Bradshaw. She is up right now by over 60,000 votes. I'd say in fact, she's been declared the winner now, as I can see. The magical check mark we've got going on. Great technology. So Marquita Bradshaw now looking ahead. She's going to win. We do have a rematch of the 2020 race between her and Bill Hagerty, huh? Yeah, Bill Hagerty, though, pretty much got a strong hold when we talk about this. I mean, he's been sitting in that seat, so very ready. I don't know. My money's on write-in candidate. I think the total write-ins are going to have a comeback here. Yeah, we're still waiting to see Shelby County results. As you can tell, we have our team also tracking the general county election race, the county general. But we are still seeing 50% coming in, and this race, as you said, but Marquita Bradshaw, familiar face, familiar name on the Democratic side, and now the projected winner. Yeah, that's right. And we can go back now in our incredible technology here. We can go and look. These are the results from 2020, in which Bill Hagerty won by over 800,000 votes. So Marquita's probably going to have some work to do here in the general election to try and reverse those numbers, at least get closer than this. This was a rout from Bill Hagerty, and he is returning again as the incumbent. Obviously, he is feeling good right now, but we can look at some of these other races now. Again, this Republican primary for governor that we've been talking about. I know you guys just kind of handled that here in the last segment. I won't belabor the point too much, but Marsha Blackburn up here now. She's gaining her lead. It's about 43%, but up close to 48,000 votes right now. It's looking like she's going to emerge victorious here. John Rose, who had basically stepped down, essentially, stepping away from running for re-election for Congress, going to have to find something else to do here pretty soon. That is true, and we know that those two definitely spent a lot of money. John Rose spending, close to maybe over $10 million of his own money into his own campaign.
Must be nice.
Marsha Blackburn having quite a big pocketbook there too. Monty Fritz, though, having more of the grassroots campaign, really did seem to resonate with some viewers across the state, voters across the state in various ways with that. But these Republicans really would have been able to see the differences and the nuances of their campaign had we seen a debate. But there were a number of issues where they varied a little different on. We heard different nuanced messaging around data centers, around the Memphis Safe Task Force. Monty Fritz being the only one who said that if he were to win the governorship, he would give a deadline to Shelby Countyans and Memphians of when the federal occupation would end. So I thought that was pretty remarkable. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Marsha Blackburn, of course, current senator, and a lot of Republicans across the country are going to have to find a little tightrope to walk where it comes to getting the support of the Trump administration, but also finding ways and places to distance themselves in a general election in which they're trying to get more independent and other-minded voters. To your point, though, President Trump chose not to endorse in the governor's race for the Republican primary because he said John Rose had been faithful to him. Monty Fritz did describe that he was a supporter of Trump, but he wasn't afraid to say where he would disagree with Trump. But John Rose used Trump's support in his campaign ads, as did Marsha Blackburn. And Marsha Blackburn told me that there was no bad blood between her and President Trump just because she didn't get his support. And she said she was still confident she would carry the vote across the state. All right, that is all great information there, Pepper. Always informed. Let's check out the Democratic primary, as we talked about again. Jerry Green, Memphis City Councilwoman, already been declared the winner. She will be your Democratic nominee here. Still not even half the votes in. Nothing from Shelby County, even where her, her home base you would think is going to be the strongest. So it looks like, hey, we're heading to an all-female ballot or ticket, I guess I should say, for that race in November. Yeah, exciting. Our panelists did good for voters, good for Tennessee. They did a really good job of kind of talking about what that could possibly look like. But maybe that's not Jerry Green's fault more so than it is just the slow counting that Shelby County may have over here. But she is the projected Democrat, or pretty much got it in the bag now on the Democratic side. It's been declared that Jerry Green will be the Democratic nominee. All right, let's take a look at some of these new congressional races. Of course, as you will know, maybe some of you out there, this Shelby County area has been split now. Long time was serviced by just one congressional district held by Steve Cohen. He has now chosen to step down. He is not running in any of these races, as Shelby County has been split into 3 different districts. We are taking a look now at the new District 5.
here, the Democratic primary taking a very, let's say, circuitous shape around up the west side of the state of Tennessee, all the way down, and then into some of the Nashville suburbs. So a very geographically disparate region here
very
that is going to be covered.
But we knew that there would be some blue spots here,
sure.
especially Chaz Mulder being the mayor of Columbia and being from Maury County. So that if he ends up being the Democratic nominee, it'll be interesting to see how that county shows out for if it is incumbent Andy Ogles takes the Republican side, which I would love to see if we could switch to
that. Maybe the most interesting and important race of the night, as it turns out, and those numbers keep coming in. Charlie Hatcher continuing to extend that lead here, over 2,600 votes more for Charlie Hatcher, with now 65% of the vote in over the incumbent Andy Ogles. And, you know, that's kind of the risk that you run sometimes when you do this redistricting. You create a whole new shape, all these new constituents that don't have a previous relationship to Andy Ogles now being asked to vote for him as incumbent. And I'll tell you what, Andy Ogles right now probably wishing they hadn't switched up that map, because it's looking like he's potentially going home here in a primary. Very rare for an incumbent member.
Very rare, and very different than what he thought in the interview we had, where he actually felt that the favor for Republicans, at least in the district, would be greater than it was before it was redistricted. And, you know, Charlie Hatcher is the former agricultural commissioner of the state. Less controversy. You know, Andy Ogles has been federally investigated. He's also said some, you know, very polarizing things about minority groups. And so, you know, people, you know, take him a little bit with some, I don't know, salt, that's the right way to say it. But Charlie Hatcher definitely seeming to have a little bit of a smoother reputation there. We are hearing that we have some county mayor results coming in. So as you can see, Commissioner Mikkel Lowry leading the way with 66% of the vote.
How about that? I mean, of course, Shelby County, more of a Democratic stronghold, but those are some significant numbers here coming in. I don't know what the percentage of, that's just early votes. It looks like it may be. So if those figures hold, Mikkel Lowry, you're going to be looking at as the next county mayor, and then county sheriff.
More than doubling the percentage, at least, with, and the votes
Buckner.
of Brad Less there. So Buckner taking the lead. And, you know, these were ones that we have projected on ABC24 this week for a while. But Chief Deputy Buckner here was over 60,000 votes to Brad Less's 25.
Brad Less was hoping for less votes for Anthony Buckner, but it didn't quite work out.
County clerk, we're seeing kind of quite a big lead for Lasagna Hall here, with 67% over Tina Montgomery, 33% showing there. So we're seeing another possibility of all Democrats in the county mayor, sheriff, and clerk positions. I'm hearing we have criminal court clerk
they're
coming
in fast. All right. Good shout out to Shelby County finally showing us some results.
There we go. Joe Towns coming in at 68%. Eduardo Jameson at 32% for Shelby County criminal court clerk. So we are going to continue this and give you some more results on the other side of the break.
All right.